And there we go. We should be live now. Getting the invite, loading in. Gonna start loading in for the Misfit Racing League. Not necessarily. So a little confusing, but yeah, this is the same league though. Currently, Nostang's actually 2 for 2 in the truck series on winning these things. Pole speed was very fast. Looked like a 24-1 was gonna pretty much be a requirement if you were gonna win the pole award today, and that in fact is what it took. From the top two, both were up there. So we're loading in, and we're gonna see who's gonna get the checkers. Of course, 200 laps here, gonna be a fast one. And supposedly it's going to be one of the shorter races we've run on the season, just under 200 miles of racing. And I say, I'll keep you guys updated though on the, okay, here we go. Going over to that now. Banner going in. Right now though, Tanklin from the pole position did very well. The second place start absolutely is falling through the field. Anarchy though, third place start all the way up there. NASCAR kind of falling back as well. Seems like that inside lane just the way to be. Currently the top three are the three guys that start 1, 2, 3 on the inside lane. Actually 1, 2, 3, 4 for the 4 guys that started on the inside lane. Minus at 34. That's hit me at 31 there. So. No. Good race though. Just kinda, a lot of the guys probably trying to just set the here. Say Nostang starting to kind of look for trying to get to that next, to try and get his third win in a row here in the truck series. So he's currently undefeated down here, yet I believe he only has one stage win here in the truck series so far, despite having essentially dominated these series on the results sheet as well as the point sheet going into this one. Trying to make his way through the field. All the guys, I feel like some of these guys trying to just settle in and trying to get through some of these laps, log some laps real quick. Yes, Nostang does hold a very commanding points lead. 1 stage win, 2 race victories already, as well as some great stage finishes from the other stages. He has been just on fire so far this season. Just to start this all off. There we go, 31. Oh boy, you really want to be careful playing around that apron line there. 31 was flirting with that bottom lane. It's like, that's going to be an issue. Down there too long. We almost made 10 laps up. But having someone get into it, which is amazing for a short track league. I can't even read that small text underneath the race logo. Looks like we might have our first issue of the night. No, we're all good, okay. They all saved it, looks like. Still out front. Nos just kind of hanging in there, close behind. Nos definitely looking, just trying to find that right time to go and take the position from Tanklin. Riding behind him for now. Waiting for a moment to go now we're still a long ways off from the stage, and 50 laps remaining on the stage. Definitely not the time to be going and mixing it up with the stage. As Keystone guy starts to fall back to the field, Anarchy just kind of hanging around it. Inside the top 5, it looks like. So yeah, no one really kind of going for it right now. Just everybody biding their time, trying to make sure they don't have any, major issues. Chiller looking to the outside of Hitman. I don't know if that would be for the 3rd position. The front 2 have absolutely taken off. Battle for the 3rd position is on. 95 truck does get around. He is going to get around the. Yeah. He gets around the 31. Now the battle of the lead is starting to kind of get closer. Mustang's right there. The question is when is he gonna decide to make the move? When is he gonna time it out and decide that now's the time to make the move? He's just kind of hanging in behind there, just kind of waiting, trying to, might even be trying to just kind of keep it in Tanklin's mind that he's back there, and might be trying to just pressure a mistake potentially from Tanklin. At least this early in the stage. I didn't realize Keystone ran a Chevy. I thought he was a Ford. Right. Just kind of looking, we got that number 55 Ally car. Catalyst, here, driver number 92, 6, Wildcats from number 22, 33 of seems to be holding up everybody behind him right now. Captain really seems to be struggling with the pace of the race right now. Guys hanging on to a top 10 spot just by blocking everybody behind him.
Possible.
Yeah, right now the Mustang definitely just kind of hanging with Tanklin, just kind of waiting to see what's gonna come of it. Chiller trying to run them down. 3rd place is gotten clear at 3rd place and doesn't have really any pressure from behind. He's just trying to put quick enough laps to try and run them down before the caution flag comes, or before the time to pit comes. I feel like they may be running pretty close to the green flag pit stop window here. There we go, the number 95. Lows. Of course not yet. It's still a bit early in the window, but definitely gonna start getting towards that window of opportunity to hit and still benefit from it. Here we go, 17 on the outside of the 13. And 17 is going to get around the 13, it looks like. Yes, he will clear him. Down the back straightaway, and he's going to have full control going into this corner of where he wants to go, and he goes straight to the bottom. I thought the top side was going to be a much better lane. I'd say just kind of early on, running some laps myself, it seemed like the top side was the quick way around, at least in 3 and 4, and Chiller makes major contact there with the wall. That's going to pretty much eliminate him catching Mustang at least prior to the pit stops. Now happen under a green flag pit stop. I think we've seen almost anything happen under when going for a green flag pit stop, even in only a few races. So here we go. Just kind of hanging in there still, right behind him. That fuel and tire though, it's gonna start to wear away. And I would say start watching to see if there's handling issues on these cars. Or trucks, I mean. Looks like NOS is still running a bit higher than 3 and 4. Only about a foot or so off the bottom. While Tanklin's absolutely wrapping the bottom all the way around the track pretty much. 58 just doesn't seem like he's quite as good at wrapping the bottom as Tanklin is. Tanklin's just a bit more committed to running that bottom. Now 58 goes up to the top to kind of look for some clean air. Now I know clean air is a major factor here, but every little bit you can get to try and help works, and if you're able to get alongside him especially. See what we can get here. $58 and $11 still running right in there together. About, I'd say, a minimum or a maximum of 10 more laps that they can run on fuel, and actually the pace they're setting, they're probably closer to 6 laps. They're probably closer to the 7-6 laps left category, but man, they are getting ready to fight out this position. Because after that first pit stop, I would say that's pretty much that's gonna be your one pit stop for the stage, obviously. And I would say that's gonna be when the guys are gonna really kick up a little bit to try and lead this thing going for those stage points and the playoff points that come with it. So definitely big advantage if you're able to go ahead and get that one. Mustang and Tanklin though, definitely two of the guys that have absolutely blasted away from the rest of the field here. Getting to the halfway point in the stage, so right now here's where I would say the window essentially opens to get to the end of the stage. You can come a little bit before the end of a little bit before you have to, and a little bit before the halfway point, and still make it on fuel. I'd say that window opened a couple of laps ago, and here we go. Mustang comes to pit road, Tanklin does not. That's going to be an interesting one to see from here. So a lot of guys kind of come to pit road there. D-Mac, Kent, the 13 kind of Tanklin there. A few other guys coming down pit road. Let's see. Is Tanklin going to come down this time? No, Tanklin's going to continue to stay out. Could be a major benefit if he's able to actually make the tires work. No, but if he's not able to make those old tires actually worth something, not able to make those tires work, he's gonna absolutely be kicking himself for staying out these extra laps. Unless he catches the caution, that would be the other thing that would benefit it, would be if he catches the caution at like the perfect time. He'd come either right before coming to pit road or just as he's wheeling onto pit road. Just as he hits the like you need the caution to come out would be the absolute perfect timing. I don't think you can get that perfect of a timing. Let's see. Where Tanklin is on pit road, so we're gonna have to wait and see where this all cycles out for Tanklin, because right now there really isn't a. This is the first green flag pit stops we've seen, so it's gonna be kind of a telling sign of, okay, who who was able to, beat who on initial pace here. Is the number 11 going to be able to beat out the 58 for the position? Or is the 11 going to lose out to the 58 because the 58 pitted sooner? And I guess the other question is, who's going to have it at the end of this? So it looks like here goes Tank. He is rolling out. Looks like he is in the back here with Cat. But is that a lap car? There he is. Let's see. Where is Mustang? Mustang is there. Yeah, I would say Tanklin's actually no longer the race leader. Yeah, Mustang has it over Chiller. Yeah, a lot of those guys that pitted sooner definitely had the advantage. The question is, though, are those new tires on the 11 going to be enough to actually get back up there and at least fight for the stage? He may have still given away a lot of points, especially if he isn't able to get back through it. Because right now that top 5 is entirely guys that pitted on that first round when everybody kind of came that very first time. And Mustang currently leads the race by 5 seconds over Chiller, the second place car. It's definitely not a easy race to go out there and predict, but considering at least how some of these guys have run so far, I would probably be willing to say that you're going to want fresh tires on a short run. But on a long run, you definitely want to have you want to pit first to try and get track position earlier. So the sooner you get that track position, the more you can do with it. So yeah, so like right now, Keystone, he was kind of trapped back in like battle for 9th, 8th position. All of a sudden he makes the pit stop at the right time. He's now not necessarily up in a fight for stage points, but he's 3rd and looking like he's going to earn at least some points at the end of the stage. Thankfully, outside the top 5, he's going to earn some points, but it won't be half as many as he normally earns. Traffic. Mustang is catching this lap traffic here quick. He's going to try and lap him. And that's obviously the goal anytime you're in traffic, is to try and lap him if you can. The problem is, though, how aggressive do you get at lapping people to risk your own truck and potentially a caution coming out that you don't want to see? Or potentially, if you do want to see it, risk it kind of looking bad to see a caution benefit you, and you happen to be involved or at least around it. Yeah, right now the Mustang's only real threat is these lap cars that are coming up behind. And no one else is really that close behind them. So right now, though, 58 rolling in behind the 33, gonna try and see if he can roll the bottom better than the 33, and then go to the outside now. Kind of follow Catalyst's line. Oh, the 33 goes up the block. Uh-oh, no, right there. That's gonna cost the 33 his lap. And of course, 33 may try and take it back from him, but not really anywhere to go there because he was still side by side with the yellow and blue truck now. Yeah, quite a few Seaman fans of Seaman down there in the chat. Yeah, right now this 58 just trying to work the traffic. Yeah, driver number 58 is going to try to work his way through these lap cars and try not to end up wrecking himself out of a shot to win this thing. Or at least win this stage, not the whole race. I mean, the whole race is still a long ways off from being decided. 14 laps around. It's going to be this is definitely a short track race. We've got a lot of laps, not a lot of guarantees. I mean, contact definitely going to happen later. I mean, I don't care how clean and nice you are. If you're not willing to put a fender to someone, you're not winning a short track race, especially on these trucks. Certainly not with how competitive the field is, where they're very close on lap times, especially the guys that actually practice. So here we go, 12 laps remaining. Mustang still has one lap car to worry about. The 58 getting that final spot that he needs to try and perfect this one. It's going to be a 10 laps. It's going to be 10 laps from here. So he's definitely getting closed in on by that number 17. The question is, though, is it going to be enough? Chiller definitely doing a good job holding the head of Keystone. Dominating performance that Haas put on there. Oh, we got driver on pit road. Master's coming to pit road. That's going to be interesting. We'll have to wait and see what happens here with the Master coming to pit road. Is he going to maintain the lead lap? I'm finding it hard to believe he is. Lap, but I don't know. Right now they're back out on the racetrack, and I start to get concerned against the tire wear. We're starting to see some of the cars not named Mustang. That Mustang may be burning his tires up really badly. If the guys running second, third, and fourth have really awful tires, and Mustangs are in Mustang is running just as quick, if not a quicker pace, and gapping them on those same tires. Yeah, here we go. We may see Mustang come back down again. Possibly. Mustang stays out, but definitely seems like he may have had to check up the start saving tire. Checking up a little slower, a little less abruptly. 3 laps to go. As long as he doesn't blow a tire, the final 3 laps is good. Maybe 2 to go now. All he needs to do is not blow a tire here. Should be very doable, but here we go. We're gonna have to wait and see. Is Mustang gonna take the checkered flag on the stage? Or the white flag for the stage finish? Coming to the checkered flag on the stage, it's gonna be Mustang and that number 58 taking the stage win. Mustang and the number 58 takes that stage win. So now everybody's coming down. So Tanklin was able to make it back up to 4th after all that. So he didn't lose out a whole lot, but he did lose out that stage win to Nos. Yeah, it does kind of feel a little bit like you went with the wrong strategy there, though, and choosing to stay out as long as he did on as old the tires as he did. But yeah, he did end up lapping. Actually, Master ended up only 1 lap down, so maybe Master can stay out and get the free pass here. Or, I mean, stay out and get the way around. I mean, he wouldn't be staying out if he was a free pass, because that would mean he would have a free pit stop. And here we go. Getting ready for the restart. Flags out on the stage, and we're gonna be doing the exact same thing we did last time. Trying to pace themselves, get it smoothed out, and then decide when they want to make that green flag pit stop after a long run. Assuming that we have another run like that one, I mean, we could see the first 120 laps of this race go caution-free, barring the stages. That would be impressive from this group of guys. It's this aggressive and looking for as many spots as they can. There we go. Right now at the front, we're gonna get to see if Tanklin can actually pass. No. If Tanklin's actually gonna be able to get by Nos here on the first run. So right now though, 11 and the 58 definitely pacing out. 58 won the last stage. 11 thinks he probably lost it on the pit call, so probably gonna hang out pretty close to this to a lot of guys here for a while. He's trying to get they're pretty close on the speed. That just has to take away on them. That just absolutely puts away on the tires. So definitely seems to be one of the best bats out here. Kind of trying to make his way up the field. Anarchy kind of settling into his spot. Oh, someone got really loose in front of the number 02 of Master. Chiller kind of stuck back in the pack as well. Just a lot of guys with just appear to be stuck kind of back in the pack a little bit. Aren't really getting a shot at the race leader, at least not right now while they're all bunched together, which is usually the time most people see the pace car for the first time. Sorry guys about the lack of commentary, I'm just absolutely peaked tonight. But no JP, you're not taking over for me in the booth. Before you go and ask. Even a tired me is still better than having you in the booth. Right now, Tank is actually able to get by NASCAR. That shows that pass did happen. So pass from Tanklin onto the 58 of Mustang definitely happened. Now the question is though, as we start to drop back into this, does the 58 try and play the guessing game again? Does he try and kind of make the 11 double second guess pitting early again? Because I would almost say if I'm the 58 and I know that saw me gain so much time earlier, I would almost say you gotta come so early in the window that that there's no way that the car in front of you can beat you to pit road. Like as soon as that window opens to make it to the end of the stage safely, so I would say about about 35, 36 laps to go on the stage, you want to be on pit road and being very aggressive with your pit call, essentially to try and force the hand of the others to either come right away or to stay out and hope you get caught out by a caution, which we haven't seen yet at all today. So, yeah, that would be my plan if I was Mustang. I'd be essentially just trying to race the 11 and try and make him wear out as much of his stuff as possible, and then try and make sure he crosses the commitment area before you do on lap, say, 35 to go, and then you're on pit road before him, just to try and undercut a little bit, just try and gain that track position, like what we saw last time, where he was able to gain such a lead that, I mean, no one could touch him at the end of that stage. Problem is that if he and the 11 come in together, you end up with a situation where now you've got both of them that are going to be on fresh tires and battling for that spot. And so far, oh, one car in the dirt as they both get there. We're gonna have to see if the caution gets called for it. I say that would be one car, so it looks like that is all good. But Catalyst coming into the pits this time. That seems very early in the segment to be doing it. I mean, he's already a lap down though, so I guess it isn't gonna kill his season to go and pull off and try and pull off some kind of pit strategy here. But I don't know. It just seems like a really early move there. But then again, maybe that's exactly what he needs. Right now, we're just kind of waiting. I still think it's a bit early for Nos to make his move. I'd say within 2 laps, though. I think actually right about now would be the time I would want to see. I kind of said it. I thought it was a little early, but then I saw the lap count. I'd say probably pretty soon. Nos is gonna want to hit pit road. Now, of course, you want to make sure that you're going to be able to make it on tires to the end of the next stage, or to the end of this stage, I mean. So you may run it just a tad bit longer, try and connect it up a little bit. But you don't want to run it so long that it gives the 11 a chance to get on before you. Because if the 11 pits at the same time as the 58, I think that the 58 has a much harder time winning the stage. If the 11 is caught out like he was in the first stage, especially if he stays out for an extra lap, 2 laps, 3 laps longer, then it ends up mattering a whole lot more that he was unable to get to pit road there. But even if you just beat him by a lap, that could be enough lap time to try and capitalize on it. So you have 1 lap on older tires versus 1 really good lap on a fresh set of tires. I don't know. I'd be wanting to pit right now. If I'm that 58, I'm looking at pitting here very soon. I don't want Tanklin to kind of drag me to pit road. I want to be the one going to pit road early, aggressive, and dragging everybody else with them to me. I want to try and command the pace of the race. And so far, I would say that the 11 has kind of dictated the pace of the race. Prior to pit strategy, but he's been caught out by pit strategy on so many drivers. Let's say we still haven't seen, did we see Nos come to pit road? No, Nos is still there. I don't know, if I'm Nos, I'm thinking about coming to pit road here any second now. Any lap here. I would be wanting to come to pit road. I've been saying it for a while now, but now he's firmly in the window. Now there is a chance that Nos just wants to prove that he can beat Tanklin straight up in a duel, so he's trying to just kind of follow Tanklin. But I would almost say drop a little bit off of Tanklin's back bumper, like make Tanklin wear his stuff out, come to pit road, in a position where Tanklin may end up deciding that running a few more laps trying to catch a caution. I mean, if he does the same thing he did last time, where he runs a few extra laps trying to catch a caution, I mean, you could definitely gain off of that. Same with Keystone. I mean, he's a bit further back, but he should definitely have been on pit road already. The 95 appears like he's coming now, so the 95 has hit pit road. But right now, 58 and 11, they're going to duel it out to the finish, it looks like. As Keystone Guy makes a pit stop here. So Keystone Guy comes down to the pit road. This is going to be interesting, because this is going to now put the 58 and the 11 both back in this pack, and they're going to both be trying to duel it out for the points that they can earn before the stage ends here in a few laps. I mean, it's going to be a duel to the finish between these two. It just may not be for the stage win at this point, because I don't think either of them are on a stage winning strategy. But now they may be on a good fine strategy for the end of the race, but I don't think either one of these guys are looking at stages. And Nos was able to beat Tanklin to pit road. That's what Nos needed. Now Tanklin has to pit this time. He lost a bit of time there when he slid. He had a slight moment there, and yeah, he has to come to pit road this time. He had no option but to try and match what his other contenders have done. We'll have to see. There goes Nos back out on the track. So it's going to be a question of where does Nos come out. Looks like he's going to drop outside. He's actually going to maintain second, it looks like, over Keystone Guy. Keystone just got mired in traffic. So it may be a duel for the stage win here with Tanklin, assuming... Oh, I think that's Tanklin coming out now. Here comes the... is that? Yes, that is the green. That's the green Ford F-150 of Tanklin versus the 58 here. So it's going to be a straight up duel here. Tanklin does maintain position though, coming off the pit road, but it's not by much. So now they're both on fresh tires. I think Tanklin's going to hold on for the stage win if I had to call it. I think Nos needs to beat him to the pit road a little sooner. Now, if you can get away with it, because I don't know how strict they're holding them to the rules. But I would almost say, just try and, just for the 58, maybe next time, under a green flag pit stop, try not calling your number coming in, just saying, just trying to, like, come in with a group and just be like, okay, I'm pitting with this group. And just kind of go with all of them. No, because if you can keep it to at least somewhat of a secret that you're actually coming to pit road, even though probably the 11 would have noticed, trying to just get any little bit you can to try and pull it off, and because really you need to be on that pit road a few laps before for Nos, because it seems like when they pit together and when they're on equal tires, it looks like Tanklin's just stronger overall. Chiller back on pit road. Uh-oh. That could be an issue. Hopefully that's not going to be something that's going to, end his night completely here. Say BMAC, it's kind of, we got the 12 and 13 get out here. Pack. Oh boy. Keystone there just tagged the wall. Uh-oh. Hopefully these trucks are durable enough to even do that without being a major factor. And Tanklin has taken off from Nos Tank, But again, you gotta wonder, is Tanklin maybe gonna have an issue here with maybe a lap truck? Because there's just, you never know what could happen here. And right now I would say that NOS can't be holding anything back. If NOS is holding back to try and not run his tires out, I mean, you're playing the wrong strategy. I mean, I get it, you gotta have something for the last lap dash on the stage finish, if assuming you get the 11 comes back to you. But if the 11 ends up this far ahead with like 2 or 3 to go, he could back it down a bit to save his tires to the finish and still probably finish ahead of the 58, which would be the concern there. Behind the lap truck here. That's it. And he gets by that truck fairly easily, actually. I thought the lap truck might give him a little bit more trouble there. The question is, though, is Mustang gonna catch him, and is he gonna be able to get by him as easily? Granted, there's no real pressure behind. So there's gonna be a caution for those two at least, on whether it's actually a finish at an actual battle for the finish. I mean, everybody's just so spread out right now. There's not really anybody that's battling for position. At least not that I can see. Right. Oh boy, 95 going way down the inside. Looks like he's got just something majorly wrong with his truck. I mean, he's already made an extra pit stop. And that thing is just still not handling well. And here he comes again. He looks like he might be coming down for another pit stop. Here comes 95 again for another pit stop here. 11 laps to go on the stage. Now it's a question of, who of these 11, or not 11, but who of these guys, including the 11, like, is he going to be able to make it all the way back around without having an issue with any other lap cars? Because I think he's still going to have some lap traffic in his future, whether it's one of these guys or whether it's something like, Chiller coming off the pit lane. Looked like TSAT may have already called it at night. Let me quickly check and see if he is still in the party. Yeah, it doesn't look like TSAT bothering to stay around. Inside that top 10 if possible, and so far I would say Chiller's done a pretty bad job, at least at this stage, of trying to minimize the damage. So I get that your truck is not handling the way you want it to, and you might have damage, but you really need to try and limp that thing around if you can to the finish. Like, you might lose an extra lap, but I mean, pitting under green here is almost certainly going to be 2 laps almost instantly. It's by the 92 fairly easily as well. 92 just kind of moves out the way of the leader. Lets him go. Now the 26. Goes down the inside. Let's see, is he going to be able to hold down that inside? He is. He gets by, I think that's Truex there in the 26, right? Yes, it is. So he goes against by Truex. Tanglin really doesn't have anyone else he could probably put a lap on. Although I'm sure he would love to go and lap the entire field here if he could. I just don't think he's got the lap count remaining to go and lap the field. He's got 4 laps remaining in the stage. Yeah, that's not going to be enough, but I don't know. I just think it's so weird that they waited so long to pit this time. I thought almost certainly NOS needed to pit earlier to try and beat some of those guys in pit road. Yeah, right now just kind of watching the laps tick by. I mean, you got to give a lot of credit to Tank. He was able to look at what happened in the first stage. He was able to see what happened and improve upon it for this stage. And he's now. Oh, he's an issue. Uh-oh. Tanglin with an issue. It looks like he made it. He definitely got loose there and looked like he tapped the wall pretty hard. And I say he's only got 1 lap left to go, so he's just got to make it through this turn. Okay. Looks like he's not even going to try for those other lap cars, which is all good. Tanglin going to limp it back around to win that stage. Definitely looked like an issue there, but man, Tanglin getting that second stage win on the night. Mustang picks up with another second place finish in the stage. Going to absolutely extend his points lead, assuming he's able to hold on to a top 2 finish tonight, which so far that looks very likely here at Iowa. Now, I think the question is going to be, what's the strategy going to become? I mean, now we've got 7 cars, or we're going to have 7 cars on the lead lap. Just kind of looking at where everybody is. Chiller ended up a few laps down. Chiller 9 down, Catalyst 4 down, Master 3 down. A lot of those guys are kind of out of contention for the win tonight. It looks like, especially with the green flag run or the green flag look of this race so far. I find it very hard to believe that we're going to have a yellow flag late in this race that lines up with it. So here we go. Getting back for this restart. And Tanglin versus NOS here once again on fresh tires. Let's see. Tanglin on that inside's been the place to be, it seems like, all day on the restarts. Especially, or at least on the initial start of the race, that was something I noted very early on, where the top starters on that inside line were the top runners early in this race. And I don't know if that's just because those were some of the fastest guys around, but surely they were also helped by that inside lane. If you asked Tank, he said he wasn't worried about that 58 right now. He's lying. Yes, here we go. There goes the 11 up the track, and a lot of the 58 down the inside. Now you're going to drag race it to the corner. See who can drive it in deeper, and who's going to be able to make it through the corner faster. Definitely, Looks like Moeses now come to life. Now the bummer he couldn't kind of show any of this speed on the after the pit stop in that last stage when he was trying to run down these guys. Looks like Tyler might have called it quits on the race as well, actually, just kind of looking through it. Yeah, it looks like this is going to actually be one of our longer races of the season, despite the green flag look to it. Just kind of looking at the official race time so far, building up towards an hour. Let me check the record books and see if we have a race. We do have a record book here. I'd say this was by far the shortest qualifying speeds. Actually, yeah, no, we're still well on pace for this shortest truck race so far. Xfinity race, not a shot at the Xfinity record, but those are half-length races. 69 laps to go, right now in the, Misfitz Racing League Truck Series. Looks like Chiller once again slow on the inside coming to pit road. He may, to be honest, I think, unless he's already gotten permission under the first, if ever, a manual caution does come out to get all his laps back, unless he's got something like that worked out with these guys, he probably is best off to just save himself time and back out. I'm not necessarily promoting backing out, especially league where anything can really happen, but when you're 10 laps down and hitting under green early, I mean, he's way too early in the window to really be dragging anyone to pit road from that. Now I think he's actually 11 laps down to the race leader, which again, you don't want to do this early in the, at this point in the race. I mean, 11 laps down, you might as well park it. I get it, you're gonna run out there and try and get the best finish you can, but I really don't see anyone who's gonna be able to pass. I mean, everybody else is within like 4 or 5 laps of the leaders. You're now double digits laps down. Yeah, love the valiant effort, but just kind of feels like it's all for naught when you're running that, not great right now. I mean, it's no secret he's had trouble with that truck tonight. Anarchy actually kind of holding on in third here. He's just kind of stalking these race leaders right now. Mustang currently leading, Tanglin second. But if anything were to happen with those two, you got Anarchy there, driving this number 3. This number 3 F-150. There's truck. Just kind of sitting there waiting to take advantage of a potential incident between the front view. Starting to try and stretch it, but yeah, it looks like Chiller may have taken my advice and just kind of hopped out the lobby. I don't think he was going to really improve that finish any. Yeah, he's out. So he is officially done in the race. He's decided to call it quits on the night. He decided to retire early. As he kind of saw the same things I was pointing out, like, okay, you're 11 laps down. You've got a truck that you haven't been happy with the entire night, and you're like 8 laps away from catching the next nearest guy. So barring other connection issues, you weren't going to make it much further in the race. I mean, you weren't going to be up there racing for the win at the end of the Moeses. Not with a truck that was 11 laps down. Yeah, I've heard about it every laps down. That's a long way to go, especially, racing the bend green flag to flag the entire time, barring stage cautions. Really, barring the stage cautions, I think this would be a very interesting race at this point. That would be a lot of green flag pit stops that you'd have to time out perfectly. I mean, you've got a fairly long fuel window, but you also have to factor in that not only do you have the fuel window that you have to worry about, you also have to worry about how bad those tires fall off with the way that they run right now, with the way that these trucks handle on the course of a run. And to be honest, a lot of these guys probably will end up pitting for tires before they have to pit for fuel. Thankfully, not able to get it done, by the way, on NOS. Just kind of looking at the lap counter. 54 to go. I think it's gonna be I think you're gonna see a 2-stop race from here, but man, if someone's able to stretch it and make this a 1-stopper, they definitely have a shot to lap the field. But I don't know. You'd have to stretch it in a remarkable way to get it to a 1-stopper, because we've seen roughly the average be about 3-4 laps. 3 or 4 laps of running. So currently 52 laps to go. I mean, you'd have to stretch another 10 to 15 laps. And I mean, unless you've been planning this from the very beginning to try and make it a 1-stop thing from the stage, when the stages were done. I mean, I don't see any of these guys being able to pull that off. I mean, I credit these guys. They are very talented drivers. Definitely more talented than I am. But I don't think any of them have really run a race strategy like that. And to be honest, now Anarchy's up in the fight as they're getting ready for pit stops here any minute. Now here's the question, with Nos out front, does he try and snooker them? Does he still try and maybe make a late decision? Or does he maybe give up the lead to try and ensure that he can come to pit road before a lap or two before the other guys, try and basically benefit from 1 extra lap off his tires. But 1 lap less on these really old tires right now. Keystone now on pit road. Looks like a few other guys kind of coming on and off pit road right now. Master coming off pit road. No. Keystone coming in. Pitman coming off. Truex coming in. Tyler's out of the race. Tyler's just entering his pit. Wildcats now out of the pits. I mean, there's guys all over this whole strategy thing. So right now, though, I mean, we're closing in on those green flag pit stops with the pit stop from Keystone. He's currently only a lap down, but he's pretty close to the tail end of that 1 lap down spot. But being in 5th place and only 1 lap down, if he's able to put together some great laps now while these guys are kind of all battling each other. Oh, Hitman drives Nos up the track. Nos loses the lead on that. Nos has got to come to pit road this time. And to be honest, I think Tanklin knows it. And yeah, Tanklin comes to pit road as well. Does Anarchy know it, though? It's kind of a who knows it, who doesn't know it. Looks like Anarchy kind of fell off the back of them, actually, quite a bit. Either that or Anarchy's already pit. No, that seemed kind of weird to me. I think he's already come to pit road. Actually, maybe not. I mean, he's all... Actually, no, he's already come to pit road, it looks like. Yeah, for Anarchy, so... Anarchy did beat the other two to pit road. I didn't actually notice that. But then you had the issues for Nos. Now going to come off just behind Tanklin. Tanklin, even pit road, is out actually in front of Nostang. As Keystone actually rockets on by them for positions number 3. And he's now going to close in on P2 for Tanklin. Anarchy, though, in driving position here for this final stint. Once again, look at how far you're willing to try and stretch those fuel and tires. I think you got to be the first. I think you got to be the first guy to make that last pit stop. It may hurt you very late in the run, but if you can get out of the middle of a dogfight, and just kind of get out of the way of a lot of these guys, and just kind of get up there, kind of like what Anarchy did. He was just kind of, he was running 3rd, just kind of slid to pit road while the other two were battling each other and weren't really gonna come to pit road. And then all of a sudden, now he's leading by 1.5 seconds. Well, yeah, 1.5 seconds. Meanwhile, Keystone just trying to do what he can do here with 40 laps to go. I'd almost say you'd be looking for a pit stop. I don't know. I'm looking at it. I think you pit. I think if you're someone like Keystone or Anarchy, who's kind of been on the back half of the on the strategy game, kind of not necessarily one of the guys with a lightning quick car, but definitely has enough speed to make a strategy move potentially work. I mean, strategy moves aren't going to work here without speed. I think Anarchy has that speed. He has enough speed to make a strategy move work. Don't think he's going to be able to outduel either of the two guys that have dominated this race so far. I would say if I'm Anarchy, I'm looking at about 25 to 22 laps to go would be my targeted pit time. Try and come before the other guys are going to come to pit road, and just try and make lap time and try and get out and beat them to the line. Because especially now that Tanklin's already passed you back to the race lead, I mean, you definitely don't want to let Tanklin be in pit road as well, because then he gains that on you. Because I don't think he has the car, or the truck, I mean, to beat Tanklin or probably even Nos in a straight up fight. But in a situation where we have an entirely green flag run all the way to the finish, you may want to start looking at potentially trying to short pit the guys. So, I mean, short pitting, it definitely has its drawbacks, but I would say unless you think a caution's going to come out, I would say you've got to think about short pitting. And with the nature of this race so far, and the fact that we've had 0 cautions for contact so far, I don't know, I wouldn't be banking on a caution. That's for sure. Mustang all over the back bumper of Anarchy. Anarchy goes high. Mustang to the bottom. Mustang gets it at the line for second there. So right now, though, no. So now you've got the front two, or the 2 guys that have dominated the race, the majority of it. I would say Mustang probably, I think Tanklin has the better car. I think Mustang probably the better driver. No slight against Tanklin. I think he's also one of the best drivers out here. But I think at the very least at this track, I think, no. I think Anarchy's driven the smartest race. I think Mustang's driven the best race, and I think, Tanklin's had the best car. Now, that's not to slam any of the other guys. I think they've all run fairly smart strategies. I mean, they've been 1-2 most of the race, Tanklin and Nos. So, I mean, I don't think Tanklin's running a horrible race. I don't think he's like the least talented guy out here. But just kind of looking at the field, would definitely say that it's I would say it's statistically more likely that, I think Nos has been the driver of the day versus Tanklin, who I think has had more help from just having a great car. Anarchy definitely played the smartest game, at least pit strategy-wise, so far. Of things in the works, just see what's going to happen here as those laps start to wind down. You gotta wonder at what point who's going to break, who's going to decide to come to pit road and kind of show their hand first here. Like, I would say if I'm Nos, I would almost say, well, right now, I mean, you've got Tanklin right where you want him if you're Nos and you're thinking about short pitting. Actually, if you're anybody but Tanklin and you're thinking about short pitting, you've got Tanklin right where you want him. He's out in front a bit. Now, you might want to close in just a tad, but you don't want him close enough that he could maybe make a decision based on your call of coming to pit road. I would still be looking at short pitting, though. Right now, though, I would definitely say they have Tanklin right where they want him, because right now they can make a pit stop and Tanklin wouldn't really be able to counter move it, or at least not immediately. He would be able to counter move them the very next lap, which I don't think beating them by a lap is what they're looking for. I mean, they are looking to try and beat them by a lap, by more than a lap. I'd say a lap and a half minimum. Hitman coming onto pit road. He's going to be looking to try and make that pit stop now and see if he can maybe get himself, vault himself back up into that discussion. If I'm a guy that's still on the lead lap, but towards the back half of that lead lap conversation, like if I'm running if I was running like 7th, 8th-ish area and I'm still on the lead lap, I would almost say that's the kind of guy that should stay out and hope for a caution flag to come out. To pull it off. Because, I mean, I don't think short pitting from the tail end of the lead lap is going to be the call to win the race. I think it's going to be a mix, though. And we got our first leader kind of pulling his strategy. Keystone has made the move for pit road. Now the question is, counter move. What is going to be the counter move from NOS, Anarchy, or maybe even Tanklin? I don't know if Tanklin's going to take to it right now. I would say Tanklin and NOS are a few laps off sequence from Anarchy and Keystone already. I would look at Anarchy as the next one to probably try and short pit. Though you very easily could see it. I mean, I'm talking about like up the front four. Because there goes Master. He was definitely running well, but I don't think he's in a position where short pitting still would be able to get him all the way there. Not to mention, I think he's like 2 laps down. Yeah, right now though, I'm very much liking that view out of his front windshield. NOS maybe might think about coming to pit road. I would probably say that, like, the lap that you think you're going to catch that traffic, because he's no doubt going to catch them. I would say just try and time your pit stop out so you don't get held up at all by the lap cars. And just try and make it a game of, okay, here we go. So, right now we're kind of waiting. Here we go, Anarchy. As I said, move, counter move. Anarchy stays out a few more laps and comes to pits. Now we're going to have to see where he cycles out compared to Keystone. Keystone gains a bunch on Anarchy. Now, a bunch of time and or positions on Anarchy. That would be a very telltale sign that definitely want to be on pit road sooner rather than later. Tanklin made the pit stop. I almost missed it, but I saw him while I was clicking through camera angles. Tanklin made the move to come to pit road. That right there could be a major decision there. Now, I don't know. I think he may have done 2 tires, possibly to try and avoid the short pit, but yeah, he is definitely running. I think he may have gone for 2 tires trying to avoid the counter move from guys like Keystone and Anarchy. Anarchy losing about 1.2 behind Keystone rather than being ahead of him prior to the pit stop. So short pitting has definitely worked out for a lot of these guys. NOS now in. I just think that strategy is going to kill NOS unless we get the caution flag. And there we go. The race lead goes back to Tanklin at number 11. I mean, I think it's going to take an issue for Tanklin to not bring this one home. NOS, he's been one of the better drivers, but I mean, that pit call at the end, I think, is going to be what costs him here. Now, granted, he's still probably going to lead with the points lead because he's won the first 2 races of the season, and he's definitely got a very good finish here. I mean, he's going to finish 3rd or 4th, minimum. Actually, right now, there's a battle here for the 3rd position here. We got Anarchy, we got Keystone Guy dueling it out. So what's gonna happen here? Looks like Anarchy looking high, Keystone down at the bottom. Keystone's gonna hold him off for now, but does that pass get more aggressive later on? I'm gonna be curious to see if Tanklin's tires fall off a cliff potentially, because I think he did two tires, just kind of looking at the amount of time he gained and how short a time he gained it, and like how much he was able to avoid the undercut really killing him. But yeah, only 12 laps to go though. I would say Tanklin probably got this one in the bag, but let's say right now it's Anarchy versus Keystone. We're watching the battle here. They're side by side. They're getting a touch just a bit. They're probably going to be leaning on each other all the way around this track. For the final few laps. I'll be impressed if we have a beating and banging finish between these two here. Definitely looks like it's going to be definitely a dominating win over. No, Tanklin, assuming he does hold on to it. So he doesn't, I don't even see Nawson behind him, so it's going to be, essentially, he just needs to not screw up here, I would say is his only goal for the remaining laps. To be honest, he could probably even just kind of let off the gas a little earlier. Don't push the issue and force a mistake. So right now, the only one forcing the mistake onto Anarchy was able to absolutely pull away from Keystone once he got by him. I thought for a while they were going to be very evenly matched. Well, I still think they're fairly evenly matched, but it just looks like Keystone's tires starting to fall off because he was one of those first guys to short pit. So this is kind of that part of the run where you would expect that their tires are going to be falling off. They're going to be falling off that cliff. I would say this may still have a shot at being the fastest truck race of the season so far. No, but it's going to be a close one. The previous fastest race time is at 1 hour 31 minutes 9 seconds. Now, whether we see a very close finish on that, I think it's going to come down to how this race ends. I think if this race ends under the green flag, I think this race will probably get the record fairly easily for shortest truck race. But if we have a yellow flag and a mandatory, or if we have a yellow flag here, manual caution, slowing the field down, that could be what sets it over the edge. One yellow flag would have been all we would have needed to push this probably over that limit. But right now, Tanklin definitely looks to have this thing on lock. And I don't even think we can have a caution at this point. 4 laps to go. And if we did have one, it would probably be what would end the race. Looks like though it will be a dominating win here for Tanklin. He's not even going to be challenged here. It doesn't look like the final several laps. Just kind of watching the laps tick by. It's hard to say anyone's going to have a shot at him. Here as he comes to take the white flag this time. And Tanklin absolutely just dominating this thing. Now, Nos definitely still going to have a great day in the points. I mean, won a stage, finished second in a stage, and then got second in the race, but no one was touching this 11 truck tonight, apparently. Strategy tried it, other fast trucks tried it, but the victory goes to Tanklin at Iowa. Tanklin 11 takes it in the number 11 Ford F-150, and that's going to be Tanklin taking the win in the Misfitz Racing League, and it does take the record of the fastest race of the season for the trucks at 1 hour 25 minutes. That is by far a new race record, and of course it's a new race record at this track. That's the first one we've run. Bummer that T-Sat, Tyler, and whatnot didn't make it to the finish. We had 6 trucks finish on the lead lap. But yeah, so I mean, that was an impressive finish, though, for Tanklin. And he's definitely going to be putting that one on the record books. It's probably one of the fastest Iowa races we're going to see. So it'll be a while till we see another Iowa race. But thank you guys all for watching this broadcast of the Misfitz Racing League presented by Moeses Family Jerky. And we will see you guys in the next race next week. And actually, tomorrow night, we've got the Xfinity Series presented by Rental Race Car, so feel free to check that out tomorrow night. But I will see you guys in the next video, live stream, or whatever you guys decide to do with the rest of your night. Have a great night, everybody.